Hey, so I'm making this video at dawn. The sun is just coming up because my client, an 80-year-old woman with incontinence, light dementia, and she had a couple of strokes, so she has some physical and cognitive challenges. She's still sleeping, and this is the best time to do a video. I can also make some when she's napping. Anyways, so this is my second caregiving experience. I already worked for 2 months for a family that needed a replacement when they went on holiday. And they took me, even with my really, really bad German. I actually only studied German for 3 months before I got the first caregiving gig in Germany. They were desperate, obviously, and they needed someone urgently. And that was a good experience. It was in a village. Yeah, of course, you don't have time off, really, or designated or scheduled time off with this job, or any days off. In Ireland, you do, because that's better regulated. The conditions are better in Ireland. But I didn't end up in Ireland because they wanted me to have a criminal record certificate for every country I've ever lived in more than 6 months since I was born. And that was a very long and expensive process to get all those. So I ended up in Germany. For here, they didn't ask me for anything, actually. They only want you to be able to speak German. Some experience is a plus, but not necessary at all to get a gig. So yeah, I did have some experience, and my German is now pretty fluent, so I got the job pretty fast, and I could choose. And I chose to be in Munich because it's a big city, and I love cities, so that's a big positive. But the negative is that with this job, you don't really have the time to enjoy what the big city offers. So you can get more FOMO than if you were in a village, because if in a village there's nothing to, you're not missing out on much going on. So, but I do get, they did tell me a day off, but it turns out to only be a day off until 3:30 in the afternoon. But yeah, most duties do happen before in the morning. So, but the problem is that the most meetups happen in the evening when I'm not off. But still, I told them that I want a 1 day off a week, at least, and at least, that's what I asked for. I didn't ask for more. And they're a really nice family. I was really lucky. And they found a woman to replace me for a few hours, just for 2 hours, so I can go to a meetup. Also, often they come for a couple of hours, and they did tell me that I'm off, that I can go, and but that's too short notice to organize something. But there are so many things going on that I actually found 2 meetups, and it was amazing. So spring is coming. It's still winter in early April here in Munich. It's cold, but yesterday was the first really warm day, and the park was full of people. It was amazing. There is a big river in the center. I was really surprised by Munich. It's an amazing city. I didn't have expectations, because Munich in Yugoslavia, where I was born, is known as a place where you go to work, like in Baustelle, in construction, and you come back with a big Mercedes and build a house in Yugoslavia. So it's not known as an attractive city with great quality of life, because people where I come from didn't come here for that. But it actually offers amazing quality of life, especially if you tolerate winters. On the first day, I even saw surfers in the city center. So there are permanently surfers surfing a permanent wave on a river in the city center of Munich. It's amazing. I mean, they're crazy because it's not the weather to get into cold water, but they do it all year long. I can see it myself trying it in the summer, but no, the river is pretty strong and fast, but people do swim. And I've heard from a local that it's wonderful to lie on your back and just lie on the river through Munich center and look at the trees above. So there are a lot of trees, a lot of greenery. But yeah, as a caregiver, I do get breaks. The daughters told me that I can leave for an hour or two anytime I want, other than outside of my duties. So what are my duties? changing diapers because of the incontinence, making sure she takes her medication, preparing basic meals, light housework, helping her dress and undress, help with hygiene, which is not much really, just combing her hair basically. I still haven't started showering her, but helping her take a shower, but because her daughter is doing that. But I suggested that I could take that over in exchange for some more free time, and also to replace a cleaner who comes once in 2 weeks in exchange for a few hours of free time. So it's not a lot of work, really. People told me it's difficult. Well, probably for clients that you really have to lift and who are bedbound, it's harder. Although my client is pretty physically and emotionally challenged. She lost her husband after many years and is a bit depressed. She has a mild dementia. She forgets my name. She doesn't even. Yeah, I don't think she'll ever permanently remember my name, but it's important with people working with people with dementia not to make it clear that they are forgetful, that they forget it. Just pretend like it's normal. So yeah, the experience has been good for now, although I see that it's not an industry, it's not a line of work which I want to do forever. It occurred to me I might, although I knew in the back of my mind that I won't do anything forever as a scanner. But I thought it would be more sustainable to do it since shifts last for mostly 2 months, and then you're 2 months off. And then I said in the first video I would spend this time living in my van and traveling a bit in my van that I still don't have. But now I see myself after this gig trying to find a different kind of work, maybe do another gig, especially because they tend to be where it's colder and nice and comfortably cold in the summer. That part of Europe, not in the south. If there are any, there are old people who need caregiving in the south, but they don't pay well. In Spain, caregiving is mostly done by South American women, and they are paid maybe about 1,000 euros or even less. Here it's better. It's about almost 2,000, almost. In Germany, it can be less, and in Ireland, it was supposed to be 2,200. It's all netto, right, after the taxes. So yeah, I'm happy with this gig. I love coming back to Germany. I already lived for 4 years in Berlin. It's so green up here in the north. And the apartments it's just not freezing in the apartments like it is still in Valencia in April in some apartments. Here it's nice and warm inside. And everywhere I look through any window, there are trees. It's still not even completely green, but I can imagine how green it will be soon. So yeah, caregiving is not that bad. It depends on the client. I was really lucky to get really good people. The daughters are amazing, especially one, and their mother, obviously. And for me, it's a bit also healing experience because I didn't grow up in a family that was this, loving and kind, and there's absolutely no toxicity at all, just love and kindness, genuine, and I love that. So maybe this is a good healing experience for me, and it kind of restores my faith in people a bit. Not that I lost it because of my family. I knew that narcissists or manipulators or toxic people, however you want to call them, they compose only about 10 to 15% of population. So I know most people are kind, but I haven't had this experience to living with in a family which is really loving and supportive and amazing. So what else did I forget to say? Let me check. Yeah, the negative of this job is lack of scheduled free time. In Ireland, I would have gotten 1 day off. and it's strictly 7 hours. But they also, another reason, another thing that put me off working in Ireland is that there's a lot of administration. You have to put everything in a diary of the patient, client. But here it's more informal. I don't have to do anything, actually, no administration. Yeah. So about the thing that people are mostly scared about this job, which is wiping someone's butt or changing diapers, it's really very, very surprisingly easy. Maybe because my client is a very kind person. Maybe also because you're just so focused on what you're doing. When I first saw her daughter doing it in the bathroom, you have to wipe the butt after number 2. It stank, and I really thought, oh my God. I felt even a bit more almost nauseous. But when I started doing it, I was just so focused on doing a good job that I didn't feel anything. I haven't felt any stench at all. It's just normal, like wiping my own butt or changing my own diapers. So it's fast, and it's nothing. It's nothing to be worried about. Oh, the sun is coming out. It's just amazing. This is my view from my room. I don't know if it shows. I'll try to put B-roll in this video and show some Munich videos that I made. And that's it. Yeah, so Munich is one of the best cities I've lived in, but Germany in general has a lot of nature, and it's pretty user-friendly. People are surprisingly friendly. They smile at you when you pass. It's quiet. It's amazingly quiet, especially coming from Fallas in Valencia. Bicycles, the lanes are everywhere. There's really people transport their kids on a bicycle. They have this little, I don't know how to call them, but yeah, it's not unusual to see the whole family on a bicycle. And yeah, I'm glad I am doing this adventure. And after this, I'm maybe planning to go to Croatia for a bit, and maybe then to try to live in Malaga, where I always wanted to try to live. I mean, you rent a room, which is not as easy as it used to be, but it's still, if it's a bit further from good locations, it can still be affordable. By the way, that's the negative thing about Munich. The accommodation is really expensive. For example, it was in newspapers, in 150 square meter apartment, the landlady is renting it out for 1,000 euros, and she had almost 400 applicants for that apartment. So it might be not even so much more expensive than Valencia these days, but even harder to find an apartment here. Oh, sunrise. Awesome. I've been up from 4 o'clock because I go to bed early. My client is going to bed at like 7:30 or 8. Sometimes it's 8:30. And I go to bed like 1 hour later. So for people who can stay up late, it could be really enough free time. You could do nightlife technically and come back at any time of the night, because she never wakes up at night, never needs help at night. And I'm not a nightlife person anymore. Okay, gotta go. Bye.